Rebuild better
together exists to help persons
in the greater Pittsburgh
and Baltimore metropolitan area
with spinal cord injuries who have lost their spousal or family support
by improving their quality of life.
My name is Matt Berwick, and I'm the president of Rebuild Better Together. We have a great turnout this evening, and there are some new faces. So can you tell us what the inspiration is behind Rebuild Better Together?
Matt, thanks. My name is Christopher Watson, and I'm the executive director of Rebuild Better Together. As you know, I had a good friend, Dennis, who was the inspiration for Rebuild Better Together. A few months after Dennis had his accident, he found himself without a family support system. His marriage had ended. Dennis inspired us to start Rebuild Better Together to help pick up the pieces and be the support system for those who lack or have lost family support. Navigating a spinal cord injury and paralysis is incredibly hard and much more difficult without family support. Dennis's legacy lives on today through this organization, and although he did lack family support, he did have some close friends. In fact, would you join us right now in listening to a few thoughts from some of his friends?
I was fortunate to call Dennis my friend, and his dream to leave his nursing home and live independently was achieved in January of 2022, largely through his own determination. But Dennis knew he needed help, and he knew there were others like him. It's Dennis' desire to help others rebuild their lives that brings us together tonight.
Dennis was a friend. He had quadriplegia and experienced significant paralysis from his neck down. He was always saying thank you for the smallest things, had a smile on his face, and he's the reason Rebuild Better Together exists, and he would say thank you for being here tonight.
Hi, Dennis Funk and I were friends for over 30 years. Great guy, great sense of humor, great spirituality, a great family man. Even after his accident in 2017, those qualities remained. I really miss Dennis a great deal, and I know he helped inspire the RBT model, and I'm sure he's smiling from paradise right now about the progress. Thank you.
I never met Dennis, but he obviously had some good friends who cared for him a great deal. My situation was different. When I had my spinal cord injury, I had a strong family support system and still do. At the age of 15, in 2003, I had a spinal cord injury. I dove off a railing into the snow and sustained a C5, C6 incomplete injury. At that point, I spent 6 days in the hospital and 3 months in a rehabilitation hospital. When I went home, I knew I had the family supports behind me so that I could live my life as a regular teenager and move on to college and into adulthood without worrying about what my life was going to look like.
Clearly, having a family support system makes a big difference for people who experience spinal cord injuries and in life in general. Rebuild Better Together's mission centers on being that support system for individuals with spinal cord injuries who have lost or lack family or spousal support. Matt, can you share a little bit about what Rebuild Better Together's working on?
A lot of you are familiar with Jared's story. After his accident in June of 2021, Jared's home, like most homes, were not accessible. There was no way for Jared to even enter his house. Thankfully, the community stepped up in a big way and worked with Jared to make his home accessible. Leading the charge were teams from PJ Dick and Stambrowski Homes. Combined, they helped Jared and his children get back into their house. Jared has a heart to give back. He's decided that he wanted to help people who have suffered spinal cord injuries to be able to return to their home. So he joined the board of Rebuild Better Together and has developed a program called CARA, named after his wife. To do just that, the acronym CARA stands for Keeping All Residents Accessible. And with the support of everyone here tonight, the CARA program is becoming a reality.
On behalf of the entire Rebuild Better Together team, thank you for coming alongside of us tonight and supporting our efforts. We couldn't do any of this without each one of you. Now, let the races begin.